What's up everybody, it's Prof Smoke. Today I'm making this video to show you guys I got a new display cabinet and I have a lot of my sculptures in the display. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to recap, show all the sculptures I've done, all the projects that we've done for this channel, etc. And I also wanted to take some time later on in the video. There will be a little marker in the chapters just talking about why I stopped doing weekly uploads. I know we were doing it for 4 or so months. And just kind of talk about IRL stuff, just a tiny bit, you know, a little check-in, just my plans for the future and my schedule for uploads and all that. So let's get right into it. The first sculpture I'm gonna show you guys, oh it's heavy, is Roots. This is the first sculpture I ever did. It's gonna be a little bit hard to see, but this was the first sculpture I ever did. It's an original character from an original story. The reason that I started sculpting was because I wanted to create this character and solidify the design, and I just wasn't good enough at drawing to draw him. So yeah, first sculpture I ever did, and the reason I started sculpting right here. I threw away 3 other sculptures before this one was good enough for me to keep, which was really awesome, honestly, to be able to kind of push myself that hard on the first sculpture and set that precedent. I'm really proud of this sculpture, and it actually had a lot of little problems here and there. The feet breaking, the armature was made out of kind of crappy wire, etc. So I encased it in this jar in resin so that it would be kind of immortalized. Ooh, jeez. The second one we have, I call it the Forest Mimic Chest, but it's pretty much just a nice little treasure chest with some foresty stuff sculpted onto it. I used a real chest as the base. It already had these monkey things on it and everything, and I really liked the chest. So I thought this would be a cool way to do it. Oh, and on the inside we actually have teeth on the top and bottom and a nice tongue, Venom style. A lot of my work is inspired by Venom, as you'll see. And the tongue actually was too long, and so a little bit of it broke off. I actually made this so that I could put my, I had a nice, or I still have it, I have a nice watch, and I would put it right around the tongue and kind of tighten it. Really cool. So that was the second sculpture I ever did. As a child, I did some random, like, crap, but I'm not counting that. This is pretty much like as an adult doing serious sculptures. And here is the third one. Now this is the first sculpting video that I uploaded to the channel. I believe I actually deleted it because I just felt that the video quality was really bad. Now I wish I wouldn't have deleted it, but yeah, this is the Mimic. It's the antagonist of the story that the first sculpture's from as well. I really wanted to sculpt these characters and just get them kind of set in stone, if you will. Now, these ones are all either, these first 2 are too large or too heavy to fit into our display. But this one is actually going to be in the display as well, so when I show you guys that, you'll see him again. But yeah, let's jump into some other sculptures here. This is a sculpture that I made during COVID, whenever they were saying to like stay 6 feet apart and everything. Thought it'd be kind of funny to make a little like pus dragon. I think I called it Plague Corpse Dragon at the time whenever I made it. I don't really remember when I did this one, but it's around the same time as I did this, the Pokemon Fishbowl. We got Dratini, that blue thing down there is Horsey. There's Chinchou in there. You see a little bit of light blue, but you can't really see him. This was my big failure. It's heavy. The resin didn't cure properly, so you can't really see a lot of the nice details. That right there is a shelter. Let's see if we can see the shelter. But yeah, my biggest failure right there. And we're definitely gonna do a Pokemon Fishbowl 2.0, a second one of that. Here is the Celebi GameCube. I still need to do a few little things. I'm gonna add LED lights for the power and the controller ports, so there's a nice green light shining out. And I do want to reinforce this right there. It's very, very, very wobbly and things like that. So I'm gonna sell this though. I'm gonna reinforce it. I'm gonna add all the lights, and then it'll be for sale. This is Sky Pillar. This is probably my second biggest project other than the Rock Poke Spot. I'm just so happy with how this turned out. I used an LED light strip inside of it as well. And we got Rayquaza right on top here. The only problems that we have are that slight imperfection there, just from whenever I was making it. It was my first time trying that technique, so there's a little imperfection there. But I think it looks great, and I'm actually gonna post this for sale pretty soon because I just don't have the space for it. So if you're interested, feel free to get in touch with me. Alright, so here is the cabinet. I've got all my sculptures and figures displayed here, other than ones that I've either sold or given away. So that includes the Detective Pikachu Bulbasaur and the Rock Poke Spot. I sold the Rock Poke Spot, probably my greatest project to date in my opinion. Our first shelf here is all of our Pokemon figures we've painted shiny. Now a little history lesson. The first one I ever painted is Snubbull. It doesn't look perfect. The more I zoom in, the more details you'll notice are kind of bad. But that's the first one we did. And the reason that I started with Snubbull isn't because I love Snubbull or something or it's my favorite. It's because I wanted to paint Squirtle. And I'd never painted a figure before. I didn't want to mess Squirtle up. So in the figure pack, it came with Snubbull as the second one. So I painted Snubbull first. Then after we did Squirtle, said why not, War Turtle, Blastoise, and it just grew from there. We did Charmander, Charizard, and all these great figures that I'm just so happy to own. Now we have all of my based figures. These boys be based AF. We got shiny Mewtwo there with some nice green stalactites. Pichu riding on a shiny Wingull over the water. Both of these two are gonna be the jewels of GameCubes. So there's gonna be a blue and yellow Sonic GameCube that goes to, in a Pikmin colored GameCube. I haven't exactly chosen the color scheme 100%, but these will both be part of custom GameCubes. And then we have Owachi from the new Pikmin. Whenever they came out with the little trailer, I said, you know what, we're gonna sculpt that. We have one of the few miniatures videos that I've left up on my channel, the Iridescent Hydra. Now the Iridescent Hydra is guarding a big old mound of gold in the middle there. and I actually painted every color of the rainbow on every scale, and then I added some extra stuff to it to make it kind of glisten. We did do some other kind of miniatures, Warhammer style painting back in the day, but I think I deleted all of it but this one because I was just so proud. And then we have Badass Cleffa. Whenever I first started streaming on Twitch, I did Pokemon Platinum, and I did the cute charm glitch so that a bunch of Pokemon would be shiny. And so we had Cleffa as our cute charmer, and I just had this badass tough Cleffa in my party. So I decided to sculpt it, just a really manly, tough Cleffa. Here we have a watery Blowhog from Pikmin 2. I just love it. This was one of my earlier sculptures. I can definitely see things that I would fix now if I re-sculpted it, but I still am just really proud of how it turned out. And this is just a little memento practicing to make Trapinch for Speed Twister's Rock Pokespot. The first one I made, just, it was this. It was just kind of bad. I just needed to make one to practice, so I kept it as a little memento in the corner there. Now we have White Ant. Now White Ant is probably one of my favorite sculptures. Definitely top 3 favorite sculptures. He's the main character of the story that the first sculpture, Roots, and the third sculpture I did, the Mimic, are from. He's kind of an integral part of the story. And for this, I'm gonna have to open up the case here. I want to show this. I used opal crystals in it, so it's actually got iridescence on the carapace. As the light hits it at different angles, you'll see green and pink and all these beautiful colors. And I think that added a lot to the sculpture. You can see all my sketchbooks are in there. All of them. Ow. This is the first sketchbook I sculpted, one of my first sculptures. It's like Freddy Krueger's face. Kind of looks like shit, a little too thick for a sketchbook cover, but hey. And then we already saw this guy, but behind him we have a more recent sketchbook. This is like a combination of Roots from my original story and this character, the Mimic, kind of them like combined into one for the cover. Has a nice little handle and some really great sketches inside there too. So yeah, there it is. Before we end the video, I wanted to talk about a few things. I know that I was doing like weekly uploads for a long time, and those stopped because I was a bit overwhelmed by work. It's hard to go work 5 days a week, 6 days a week, and then come home every day and work on these projects and meet these deadlines. For months, I spent most of my time at home, working on sculptures, painting figures, and what I realized is that the content suffered. The content wasn't as good. It was mostly just painting Pokemon figures. And that's a lot of fun, but I like to think that my bigger projects are the ones that I'm going to be remembered for. Those are the ones that I'm the most proud of. And so it just stopped being as gratifying doing weekly uploads and started to just feel like more work on top of my job. So I just I missed a few of those deadlines, and I just kind of said, I need a break. I really needed a break, which takes me to my next point. Last time I checked in with you guys, I had just gotten a new job. It was really good. This time I just was let go due to downsizing from this job, which sucks but this also means that I have a little bit of free time before I start my next job. But with that said, I really can't say for certain like what schedule I can upload. For the next week though, like Monday through Friday this week, I'm gonna just be all I'm gonna be doing is working on sculptures, painting figures, making YouTube video content. So I'm really hoping that I can get a good backlog of videos kind of edited and made ready to upload, so that whenever I do get this next job, I can continue to have consistent uploads. That doesn't mean I'm gonna do once a week like I was doing, but that means that I'll be at least uploading at a consistent pace. You know, if I decide to do once a month or once every 2 weeks, that's better than nothing at all. So my plans currently for the future are that I am working currently on a sculpture for the Resident Evil 4 remake. It's been going longer than I expected, but over the next week I definitely want to finish that. And then on May 11th, I believe it is, or maybe it's May 12th, we get the Breath of the Wild's 2 Tears of the Kingdom, right? Legend of Zelda. I'm going to do a sculpture for that, guaranteed 100% doing a sculpture for that. So that means that whenever that game comes out, I'm going to play the absolute crap out of it, find a boss enemy or an area or a character that I just really want to sculpt, and then I'll get started, get to work. After that, we have Pikmin 4 coming out, and I have a big project planned for that as well. I also have Pokemon figures to paint and GameCubes to paint, so those are coming up. And again, as I said, I have no set schedule. I'm just gonna do whatever I want to. If I set a schedule and I say I'm gonna do once a week or whatever, then I'm just gonna feel like trash whenever I don't meet those uploads, whenever I have more important stuff. Like realistically, there's more important stuff in life than making sculptures. Yeah, I love making sculptures. It's probably one of the most important things in the world to me, but things like being able to afford rent are, a little more important. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the video. I've wanted to do a recap of all my sculptures for a long time now. I might have missed a few, but I think that we got actually all of them but the rock poke spot into one video. So heck yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I have some new content on the way soon, so stay tuned. Peace out.